Welcome to the School of Bitcoin. We've got a bit to go on with today, I think. So we've been working on the Digital Playhouse new website this morning. We've got a fair bit of work to go on that, but it's definitely getting there. And we've got Joe from Chisholm joining us. Welcome, Joe. Thanks for jumping in this morning.
Hi, Joe.
Pleasure. Nice to meet you all.
Really appreciate it. Yeah, so I've known Joe for a number of years, and we've kind of worked on a bunch of different projects. Like his cybersecurity students did placement at Warana, and yeah, like they all went off and did some awesome stuff after that. So we've kind of been back and forth working on different things. Joe, did you want to give a bit of an intro to yourself and some of the things that like Project X that we worked on sort of back in the day, if you're allowed to talk about that?
Look, yeah, no worries. Look, thanks, Kieran. Nice to meet you all. My role at Chisholm is I look after some courses, in business and IT. For those of you who don't know about Chisholm, we're located in the southeast of Melbourne. We're a multi-campus VET or TAFE provider. So we traditionally have students coming through from a certificate through to a diploma or advanced diploma level, and we have partnerships with universities, but we're also developing our own degrees at Chisholm. We hope to launch a business and IT degree next year. We've had partnerships with La Trobe and Monash, obviously, with Monash being in our region in the past, and Deakin, but we've also had a fairly successful partnership with La Trobe for about 6 or 7 years, but we decided to sort of go on our own. But in terms of what my interest here is, and also that Project X that Kieran sort of touched on a moment ago, I've obviously got some interest in the technology and how it can be shared and incorporated into the training and learning that we have in the VET sector. In the TAFE sector, we've been a little bit slow in terms of picking up new technologies, and we're very much controlled by what happens through our lead organisations. That is what's referred to as training.gov, and the organisations that manage our what most people would identify as curriculum. We call them training packages. So those documents we haven't been as agile as we'd like to be. We're seeing some changes now starting to emerge, and we're still playing catch up with technologies like blockchain and Bitcoin and all the crypto technology that's associated with that. So these sort of forums are really important for us to be able to take what's emerging, where the trends are, and what's happening in perhaps not mainstream industry, but what we're seeing is happening perhaps on the ground. So for us, in terms of these conversations and the conversations I've had with Kieran for a long period of time, we've been able to identify through these conversations that the technology basically that's emerging and that has been around us forever really touches on every industry across the VET sector, and indeed just every industry in general. So we've got a new building coming up at Chisholm, which is mostly being funded by the state government. That's in Frankston, in Fletcher Road, and part of the platform for the building was to have a central IT and cybersecurity training centre with the other industries sort of hanging off it. And whether that's hair and beauty, because we have trainee hairdressers coming in, right? Or we've got engineering students coming in that are learning how to develop and build things through 3D technology, or down to plumbing, or across to hospitality. What we're seeing is that this building has basically technology at the core, and then all the other industries will be able to sort of feed off it. So that's essentially what Project X is in about a 30-second grab. But for us, it's really important to stay connected with little little groups like these, maybe not so little, Kieran. I'm not sure how many members you've got or how many people participate, but for us, it's really important to hear what's happening on the ground, so that way we can take it and try to incorporate it into things like Project X. We just came up with Project X because we couldn't think of anything. So that's how we sort of jumped onto that title. So I've sort of been around the world there in about 30 seconds, but that's a bit of what we're trying to do at Chisholm, and trying to sort of set a new agenda and a bit of a path.
Yeah. And the really exciting thing for me anyway is in the immediate future is that awesome co-working space that you've got set up, sort of focused on social ventures. For me, it was awesome coming to that event and seeing all the different social enterprises. That's exactly what we've been building, like with this project. I didn't really know that was the term, so I learned a lot that night. It was pretty cool. But having that space specifically, and yeah, like we've got Bitcoin Australia meetup next Thursday, so we're hoping to potentially run it out of that space, which will be great. I think we'll be connecting with Electra and Gordon up in the digital playhouse in Agnes Waters. But yeah, it'd be great to have a bunch of people in there and sort of utilizing the space. So I'm excited about that, and excited about the new cybersecurity space as well. I think that's really good. And there's a point you touched on there, Joe, as well, that sort of branching off into all these different areas, like digital literacy and financial literacy are really two of the most important things that are kind of overlooked, that do encompass everything, right? So like, even if you are hairdressing, like you need digital literacy. It's 100%. So that's great that you're thinking in that direction. I think it's really, really, really good. Switching gears into stacks. I haven't seen Jark in a couple of weeks. Hopefully he's doing okay. Has anyone heard from him on Discord? No, it's kind of disappeared. I might send him an email and see where he's at.
Summer vacation in the States, maybe. Who knows?
Oh, true. Could be. Or he might be have a lot of work on. I think that kind of happened before, and yeah, maybe that's what's happening. But that's all good.
Hey, Karen, Joe, Electra and I are actually doing the Advanced Diploma of Applied Blockchain at TAFE Coomera in Queensland. So there's some guys called got a company called Blockchain Collective, and they've got a accredited course, like a diploma and an advanced diploma. And they
I'll put it in.
Got a collaboration with TAFE, the Queensland government and the federal government. So anyone in Queensland at the moment can actually enrol in that course, and if accepted, can actually do the course for about $140 instead of
10,000.
10 to 13,000.
Yeah, I've just given you a link.
So it's quite interesting. And look, I'm about halfway through the course. I'm not a coder. I'm not a tech guy at all, but going through the whole process, what I'm learning is really learning a lot about. It's really like what I think I'm learning, that we're actually learning to build software. So you're looking at all the the non-coding side, but then once we've gotten down to the actual smart contract side of things, what I'm learning is that pretty much it'll be of great benefit for us to all actually learn how to build smart contracts. And it's a really, so I'm learning to build smart contracts and I don't even know how to code. It's a lot of learning in there, but I think that's a point certainly within the thing that Project X, that smart contracts will certainly be something that will be very mainstream. Electra's talked about it in her accounting group, so worth having a look at.
Yeah, we're doing the Advanced Diploma of Applied Blockchain, but the Queensland government, and maybe you could get the Victorian government on board, until December is letting people do the diploma of blockchain or applied blockchain, perhaps, merging ML and AI for $145. So we've been encouraging a lot of people to get enrolled into TAFE and take that opportunity, a year's study, to come out with a blockchain qualification. Applied blockchain, though, it's like, so anyone from any industry with any background it's project based. So you basically come up with a project of applying blockchain to a business or organization that you have experience with, a blockchain based business model, and planning it out. It's great experience for anyone from any industry.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you guys are using the digital playhouse to do that, right?
I'm building out a DAO, a potential DAO for the digital playhouse. So I'm learning how to build a DAO basically from my business model through to all the functional requirements and the non-functional requirements, and then through to the smart contract building.
So cool. That's awesome. Very cool indeed. Yeah, well, that's definitely something to look into, I reckon, Joe.
Yeah, no, I'm having a look at it as we speak. So I'm just looking at who the providers are and who the owners are of the course. I know it's a national course.
Yeah, so the two boys that started it, they originally we met them through NEM, the blockchain, when Kieran was doing the Rocket Shoes project. So those boys had they built a token on NEM called Free Market Token. They've been around a long time. Their company's based out of the Gold Coast. Austin's on the board of Blockchain Australia. So they're very entrenched into the system and very knowledgeable. They've built projects. They built the course because they I guess, you know, come across lots of problems trying to build a project and didn't know what they were doing. There's a couple of books that I think that are really the foundational books. There's a gentleman or two, I think it's father and son, Don Tapscott. They've got some, if you look up Don Tapscott, he's a you know, business blockchains for business advocate, and I think a lot of the fundamentals of the course are based on the book of his writings. But as we go along, I think what we're learning, Kieran, is as I'm going through this project, especially working with Stacks, you know, I'm learning that Stacks is a very new blockchain, and everything is being built, like it's being rolled out on the tarmac as we're rolling along behind. So it's so new.
Yeah.
It's and you're right at the cutting edge of all of the development of everything on Stacks. You know, it's just, say 3 months ago, there wasn't a DAO, a system to be able to build your DAO.
Yeah.
So a multi-sig wallet. And 3 months ago it wasn't there. Well, it's there now. So it's really cool that you're actually learning as these things are being built out by these incredible people at MIT. And
sorry, I didn't realize, Gordon. So there is a multi-sig wallet we can utilize now on Stacks?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Oh, which one is it?
I posted it in the Discord.
All right, yeah, sorry.
Keep track of that. And also with it's been announced, hasn't it? Ethereum is moving to proof of stake. They're saying September now. So with Bitcoin and Stacks staying proof of work, you can only see Stacks becoming more popular as a secure
100%
option to build on.
100%.
Yeah, so it's called multi-sig.
Proof of stake is basically still just trust us, mate.
Yeah, it is.
So proof of work is the real trustless.
Yep. Well,
So
that's the thing. Like Jack Mellor Jack Mellor's had a interview with Bloomberg the other day, and he was asked about that and like the energy FUD. So like, you know, the whole concept of, you know, proof of work uses too much energy, it's bad for the environment. And Ethereum doesn't, and it's moving towards proof of stake. And he knocked it out of the park. He's like, well, no, one, Bitcoin's the solution to the energy crisis, not the problem. And two, looking at proof of stake, what's to stop BlackRock coming in, or a company like BlackRock, and buying up 90% of the network? And then we're back to where we started with fiat currency. Like, it's so silly. So now you're right, 100%. I think having an ecosystem like Stacks and building on the, like you said, Gordon, the ground level of that out for what we're doing, I think it's really the way forward for longevity for a project. So, and having that community, I think for the co-working space, Joe, I reckon that's going to be really cool to start doing some. I think having some coding classes around that. So there's a language called Clarity, and there's guys out of Austin that are doing some code clubs. So I'm thinking at some stage we do an event like that at Chisholm. I think that would be really beneficial for the community. And I know, Karen, it's a little bit far for you to come to Frankston, but we'd
That's
love
not
to
too bad.
love
Not
to have you have you come down. I think the big thing for me,
I'd
and
be
I was
happy
saying this to Joe before, last week or the week before, there's so much stuff in the city in Melbourne. Like there's a lot of opportunities for, you know, kids to go in and find different meetups and all that sort of stuff, and communities that are all city based. There's nothing really on the peninsula. So I want to make something here, and we've got like this state of the art building that we can utilize for that. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting, and I think there'll be a lot of people interested in sort of bringing that space to life with a lot of this Web3 stuff. So I'm excited. So yeah, Karen, you'll have to come to
No, I
down to
definitely want to
Frankston.
see it. I'm really interested in it. And it's interesting when you say there's not a lot of stuff on the peninsula. When I was looking for a meeting place for a small group of people for a children's rights organisation, I couldn't find anything on the peninsula that was open on a Sunday. Now, that's another sort of factor. Well, even libraries I couldn't even find. And if you want to do something for children, for young people, people of different ages, sometimes during the week is not the best time for them to get together and put in a whole day activity or small group meeting or large group different things. And I don't know yet what Project X is. Thank you, Joe, for starting the explanation of it today and giving us a quick flash into it. It sounds so exciting. But I can tell you about some of the challenges that I've worked with children from, well, preschool to postgrad, and including academics and school leaders. So looking for places where different groups of people can meet and have access to different resources is very exciting.
It is. And I think you touched on like the sort of agelessness of learning as well. So like what we've been building with this platform, like not being directly for you know, students in a school or a higher ed, it's kind of for everyone, and we're all kind of learners together. Yesterday I was doing some tutoring, and it really hit some Bitcoin tutoring specifically, and it kind of hit me that there is no space now for people to sort of get together at a certain age. So the guy I was tutoring, he was like, I think he's in his 70s, but he's like really giving it a go, and you know, learning about all these different cryptocurrencies and BTC specifically, and how to secure it and all that sort of thing. And he's like, there's no community for me to talk to for people my own age. And I'm like, well, yeah, we could probably develop that. So I think there is a bit of I think a disconnect where, you know, it's looked at as something for young people specifically, but I think it can be sort of for everybody. So creating a space that's kind of open to that, I think, is really important as well.
So important.
So important.
I think I told you a little bit about a conference I went to on doing school differently, and one of the schools that works with kids who dropped out of school for so many different reasons go to another type of school, type of education facility where students aren't grouped according to age at all. They're grouped according to interests.
Yes.
And that's ageless, really.
Yes.
And being grouped according to interests is so powerful, and you feel you're being valued for what you're interested in, and you have the opportunities to go further. And things like that are very exciting. And the guy who formed the basis of the the United Nations Convention of the Children's of Rights doesn't use the word children. He said, we're all people. We're all people. And I think, you know, getting that sort of principle here, that don't feel dumb because you're not good at something that other people your age can do. Hey, we all learn in our own ways at our own times, blah, blah. I'll stop talking.
No, I think that's important. And you run the Korchak Association Australia, and I know you've run some events, but I was thinking, Karen, at some stage it might be worth you coming down on a Friday to the learning space in Chisholm as well, to potentially look at running something there, because I think it's great community, great people. So I think you definitely fit right in. So every Friday they do like free co-working, but it's kind of focused on social enterprise. So I think the Korchak Association would really fit into that at some stage.
I'm very interested in having a look at this.
So the last thing, or two things. So Element, tonight. So last week we had a meeting with the Element team. So Element's some pretty cool software, Joe. It's basically it's built on something called Matrix, and it's like a decentralized think like Discord, but you own your data, not a third party like Discord or Zoom like we're using now or whatever. And basically you can run it from node to node. So you can like build your, what blew me away, like just playing around with it, building a Lightning node here. So like a Raspberry Pi Lightning node, you're actually running the server on there and then a client at the same time, communicating with somebody else's server and client at the same time. And there's no middleman. So and it's end-to-end encrypted. It was just incredible. But they do hosting for education specifically, and they've got somewhere listed that they do it for free. So I had a meeting with the sales guy. I think we had more questions than he had answers. So we've got another meeting with a tech guy tonight. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And it might be something, yeah, that we could kind of all utilize at some point. But
email
Yes.
address.
You got it. Oh.
Sorry about that. I thought we were on speaker.
Yeah, that's all right. No, that's true. Yeah, so that's tonight, and then we've got Bitcoin Australia next week. So yeah, you guys are hosting that. So have you got like your topics and stuff covered? Because I've contacted Adam, and he's actually emailed me back this morning. So he's going to get a Clarity developer to do I said either pre-recording or come in person, but I think with the time differences, it's probably going to be a pre-recording, I'd say, and then sort of jump off from there. But do we have other presenters and anyone else that we want to sort of approach beforehand?
Yeah, I was going to actually, depending on what Adam came up with, I was going to see if we get the guys from No Code Stacks.
Yep.
That are No Code Clarity.
Yep.
They look pretty interesting. There's some they've actually, I think, yeah, just in terms of who's sort of setting the pace out there, I thought that'd be pretty cool. And maybe go through a couple of things in regards to DAOs. I was going to go through some of this tooling that I found to like the multi-sig wallets and some different tools to get some people building. I think it's probably coming up with some progressive pathways. So getting everyone to get a wallet, everyone get some staking going, and it's sort of like get some minimum criteria to join, to get everyone moving along down the pathway. Because like I said, I think that everyone will eventually have to learn to do smart contracts.
Yeah, 100%. And do you
At
reckon
least know how to give input onto what needs to be in them and what the outcome should be and what needs to be avoided. Like we need to be able to communicate with developers to build smart contracts.
Yeah, definitely.
Know how to speak the same language.
So I'll put that together today and get the meetup going. I'll put together an agenda. I was waiting for some people to come in and say, do you want to contribute? I asked Tiggs if he wanted to do something on the Lightning Network. So I'll follow him up on that.
Yeah.
Because I sort of see a couple of things here, Joe. It's like, especially for new people like learning about blockchain. Electra just posted there a YouTube clip, and it's just got Joe. So that's a lady that explains basically what it takes to become a blockchain developer. And there's so many parts in there, but she breaks it all down with all the different people and all the different languages and how for you to actually come in and become a blockchain person in terms of from TAFE or somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I found it very interesting. And she really came back to it at the end of the day and said, but first of all, where did blockchain start? And that was with the Bitcoin white paper with Satoshi. So she said, read the white paper first. And then from there, you can build out from there. So you've got the base layer of Bitcoin. Then the Lightning Network enables faster payments and cheaper payments. And then Stacks is another application being built alongside and anchored by Bitcoin, which you can do applications, Web3 applications. So that enables peer-to-peer transactions between parties that are just using the internet. And so it's a pretty simple, progressive pathway of learning. I thought that's a really good clip for you for everyone, for all of us to watch about where we're going and what skills we need. Because at the moment we need everyone to get skilled up like everyone at TAFE should be learning, if they haven't already, every single person as part of their basic curriculum should be how to have a digital wallet,
Yeah.
how to send and receive and sign a transaction, how to store your private keys. And it's just really absolutely basics, reading and writing stuff now. Everybody has to learn, and it should be part of every single section, because they're going to use it in, whether you're a hairdresser or whether you're anyone, you're all going to be having digital wallets soon. So the quicker we get them all on board, the better.
Yeah. 100%.
It almost fits into that category about digital literacy, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, you could probably sit it under that umbrella.
definitely.
Yep.
Yep. It's like if you're setting up an email account, we'll set up a digital wallet.
Wallet. Exactly.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah, so to wrap up, I was just well, we probably need to sort out the Zoom links sort of ASAP, right? So maybe we should do that after this if you guys have time.
Yeah, we've got some board decisions just to make. So yeah, we could do that quickly after this. Have our board meeting.
Let's do that. Awesome. And then yeah, Joe, I'll see you on Friday. And if we can figure out if we can do some promo for the Bitcoin Australia meetup in that time as well, or yeah, some logistics around that as well. But I'll speak to you, and I'll speak to Amanda as well, and see how we go.
Yeah, so how we can get into that, get into the co-working space there, and maybe at some of the upcoming events, maybe get a chance to get a bit of time to have a bit of a chat to the audience.
Yeah,
That might be worthwhile. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I hadn't advertised out the Frankston venue as yet, because I didn't know how official where it was at. So as soon as I get the go ahead that we've got an event there and it's all go, we can start to promote that.
Yep, sounds
That'll
fair.
be cool.
Just, Joe, I had a question. With your social enterprise group there, is that just a group that operates out of that space, or is that something that the Chisholm is driving? Or
no, so it's part of the Social Enterprise Network Australia, and then we have a Social Enterprise Network Victoria. So it's one of the hubs that are available for social enterprises across the state. So it's a Victorian government funded project, but it has got limited funding. So it is a pilot in a sense in terms of the site, the hub that we're using at the moment. Social enterprise. The Social Enterprise Network Victoria has been around for quite a while, but this is sort of a hub that's been established for the southeast. It's getting some traction. It's having some success, but that will all be, and the ongoing future of it will be determined on how successful this pilot is. So we've received some extended funding, or I shouldn't say we, Chisholm's contribution is the space, more or less. Social Enterprise Network is managing it all. But we have a commitment to supporting it. So they get the space for free, for the want of a better word, through Chisholm's contribution, in-kind contribution. So it's getting a bit of traction. I think the last event that we had probably was the most well attended, and that might have been because Kieran was there, but he but it was a pretty enthusiastic event, and that's what we need to do. We need to build the energy, just like what the conversation we're having here about blockchain. So it's about building the energy and building and getting the message out there. And I think, like you said, I think the point there is that we maybe need to start to introduce it at the ground level, and that digital wallet and the digital literacy connection is probably something that you resonate, make a good point there. Resonates.
Yeah, it's not I think that
Preparedness.
we got through those stages of being afraid to speak about Bitcoin because of all the it's getting past that and understanding that. I was learning I was learning the other day that about the integration of Bitcoin networks into the IPv6 new internet protocol, and how that's going to look and how that's going to work. To a point of where you won't have you'll actually move around on the internet, and if you just are basically hopping between networks, and payments will get made along the way. So whether it's a telecom provider or whether it's a electric car charger, and you'll your digital wallets all integrate into all of these systems, and it's the way they're going to integrate these networks into the IPv6 system. So it's really.
Oh, that sounds fascinating. Have you got a link for that?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to send it to you first.
Please, yeah, that sounds awesome.
Wow.
But so it's really they're building out these.
We're all going to have to skill up to be able to use the internet that's coming out next year also.
The architectures that are being experimented and played with here, it's pretty big time, I think, and this is the new digital system of all the IoT systems. So over the next 5, 6, 7 years, it's going to be quite transformative.
Yeah,
but people will have a head start with careers, with jobs, if they start learning the fundamentals now of all this.
So in regards to social enterprise, Electra and I started the Digital Playhouse as a social enterprise originally.
Queensland Social Enterprise Council.
And in Queensland, we've got the Queensland the
also,
QSEC.
We're also a registered charity, so we've got that for-profit and not-for-profit hybrid.
So unknowingly, Kieran fitted straight in there because he's already working in a social enterprise.
So many social enterprises don't even know they are.
Yes.
But I see it as a really exciting space. In this, there's a lot of new and exciting companies in that space, and I think even for us at the Digital Playhouse here, after seeing what the Frankston were doing, you really inspired us with the website, the social enterprise website that you guys have got there. It really inspired me to really go. To work our space, because we've got a space here that we're in now, and to get all our social enterprises in here and be like our own little hub in our own town, because there's a number of them here, and to host events and grow that network. So what you guys are doing is, I thought it was fantastic.
It is, yeah, very, very cool. Awesome. Oh, well, thanks for jumping in today, Joe and Karen and Digital Playhouse team. We'll hopefully catch up with everybody. Oh, here's a dog. Hey, Billy. Catch up with everyone next week, and I'm keen to see some. Can you take me out of here, please?
He wants to stay with you. Oh, now you've upset him.
That's all right. I forget where I was at. What was I saying? I got
No, wrapping it up.
Wrapping it up anyway. All right. Well, let's we'll reconvene next week, and I'll see you on Friday, Joe, and we'll go from there.
Sounds like a plan. Good on you. Nice to meet you all.
Good to meet you, Joe. Thanks for your time.
Chat soon.
Thanks, everyone.
No, great to see you all. Thanks for your help. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.